Day 11 of the PA School Personal Statement Challenge. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that draft that you did yesterday that I hope you're very proud of, and we're going to start going through all the boxes just as a first run through. You're probably going to revisit this checklist often, but we want to make sure that, there's no major issues before you really dive into editing. We want to make sure everything is, in place and that we're on the right track. So the first box is brainstorming. You should have done most of these things. One thing that we haven't really talked about is setting a deadline to be completely done with your essay. So I do want you to write down a deadline, put it on a calendar. CASPA opens at the end of April, so ideally before then, so that when it does open, you're ready to go and not doing anything too last minute. The next box is content, and this is the most important one because if your content is not on point, nothing else really matters. You can write a beautiful essay, but if it doesn't tell me why you want to be a PA, okay, I don't really care. So we want to make sure we're not just skimming the surface, we're not being superficial, we're not being generic. We're actually answering the questions of why you want to be a PA, that everything in your essay relates to the prompt of why you want to be a PA. So this part is really important. Really spend time on this. One thing I like to do when I'm editing is actually highlight things that fall into these different categories. So you may take each question and have an assigned color and kind of go through your essay and make sure that you are fully addressing. That's also helpful for supplementals. All right, our next box is red flags. This one is pretty straightforward, pretty quick to check. If you have any of these things, you need to fix them immediately because small mistakes can just be distracting and be your downfall. And then our final box is editing, which we'll get to a little bit more, but we're going to kind of go through checking grammar, spelling, polishing everything, making sure that you're under the character count. And this should give you a good idea of the parts of your essay that you still need to work on as we finish up the last few days of our challenge. And feel free to comment with any questions as well and let me know how you're doing in this process and when you've completed the checklist. I want to know how it went.